Hi, I'm Mandy from 97ZOK, and welcome back to my living room for another episode of Netflix and Chilled ... Wine, a video series dedicated to the two things that I love to do the most in this world, and that's have a nice glass and sometimes an entire bottle of chilled wine while watching Netflix. If you've never seen a video series before, here's how it works. I watch the very first episode of a brand new show on Netflix, and I give you my play-by-play review as I'm watching the show while drinking wine. The longer the show, the more I drink, and sometimes the better or the worse the review. So this week, because I'm waiting for payday and I'm kind of on a budget, we're drinking Barefoot Moscato and we're watching Welcome to the Family. It's a Catalon sitcom that follows a dysfunctional family that's forced to turn to unlikely sources when faced with an eviction, all while trying to keep their dad's body in a freezer. Wonder what that's all about. Let's find out. Just a heads up, it isn't Catalan, but it is dubbed in English. I'm pretty okay with shows dubbed in English, but the voices just don't match the faces at all. Dang, they're not even getting 30 days to move out. They're being evicted right on the spot. Okay, so they need $150,000 to save this apartment and keep their place to live, but they have to ask somebody for the money. Still waiting to find out who it is. Okay, so we know who Angela's gonna be asking for help from. It's her parents, but for some reason their relationship is estranged. This entire family is so weird. So we're finally learning more about Angela, the main character, and it sounds like when she was younger, she ran away with the pool boy, and her parents didn't really care for that all too much. The stepmom has gotta go. I can't stand her face, I can't stand her voice, and I can't stand her attitude. Okay, so let's get you caught up to speed as to what's happening so far. We're halfway through the show, and we're finally getting to learn more about Angela. So she ran away with the pool boy and had a bunch of kids. His name was Manuel. He left her after being together for 10 years. Well, now she loses this apartment, and she's going to ask her dad, Eduardo, for money. So now they're seeing each other for the first time since she left the family to go be with the pool boy. So now he's finally getting to meet all of his grandkids, and now she's actually living with Manuel's brother, so technically her brother-in-law, and he thinks that they're like shacking up and doing stuff, and the relationship is actually pretty platonic. Are you following me? It's pretty dysfunctional, right? And boom, there it is, just like that, Eduardo's dead. Okay, so I assume this is where the body in the freezer comes in, because the man's not even in the ground yet, and they're wondering if he's got a will. And if they're not in the will, then they can't let anybody know that Eduardo died. Now that Eduardo's dead, this feels a lot like I'm watching Weekend at Bernie's. It's very Weekend at Bernie's-esque. So while the dad Eduardo is sinking to the bottom of the pool, don't ask, you'll see. We finally found the will. The question is, will Angela be in it? Okay, so here's something that I totally missed. So they had already called 911, but if 911 comes out and sees a dead body, they're gonna think that they were the ones responsible for killing Eduardo. So now they're trying to get the brother-in-law, Manuel, to basically poison himself so that they actually have a reason to show up at the house with an ambulance. Cops in Catalonia kind of look like Captain Obvious. You know that guy who's always trying to redeem travel points for Hotels.com? So I know I said earlier that I really hate the stepmom, but I really want to like her because she's just that weird and kooky and crazy that you almost want to be friends with her. Spoiler alert! They just found the will, and guess what? Angela is not in it, and neither is his second wife, but his son is. Alright, so there you have it. We're at the very end of the first episode of Welcome to the Family. And I'm definitely going to keep watching, and I think you should check this one out too, especially if you like dark comedies about dysfunctional families. I really want to see these two families working together. You've got Angela and her brother-in-law and her kids that need to now work together with Eduardo's second wife and her daughter to see if they can change Eduardo's will to make sure that they're in it and they get this money to either save their apartment or do God knows what with it. But for now, they're all under one roof and they're safe, but I can't wait to see what happens next with these weirdos. So tell me what you're watching on Netflix and what should I watch next. And make sure that you subscribe to ZOK TV so you know when the next episode of Netflix and Chilled ... Wine is on.